Hey guys, it's Danielle K. I'm the creator of Naturally Row Hair Extensions and Isla Hand Tied Hair. But on this video, I actually want to talk a little bit about fitness and nutrition, specifically before I travel, right? Because every girl wants that bikini body. So it's like, hey, how can I feel my best and look my best when I'm getting ready to head wherever it is you're going and you're gonna be in a swimsuit all week? I always say, like, vacations on the beach are the best and swimsuits are like tiny little outfits. Hey guys, come on in. I'm Danielle K. the creator of Naturally Rose and Isla Hand Tied Hair. Welcome to my beautiful home here in Miami Beach. If you're on this YouTube channel, you can look for anything from fashion, fitness, beauty hacks, and more. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. So I'm a mom of 4 kids. I have competed in 4 different bikini competitions. I've won first overall in a couple of those competitions. And I really learned a lot along the way. Prior to that, I've always been very into working out. I would say after I had my first baby, I got into marathons, I got into triathlons, I got into like kickboxing and Taekwondo and dancing and so many things. And so it was after my third daughter where I developed preeclampsia and I gained a ton of weight that I'm like, okay, I need to hire on some professionals. I need to figure out what I'm doing. So I actually hired a nutritionist and I hired somebody who had competed and gotten her pro card. It was scared the shit out of me and I was like, you know what though, this is the first time that I'm gonna invest in me, because I think as a mom, it's so important to let go of that mom guilt and take some time for you so that you feel your best. So again, that you show up different at work, in your community, with your kids, with your husband and things like that. But I specifically on this video want to talk to you guys about what I do before a vacation. Now, I learned through my first competition, I felt amazing and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I also realized in my first competition, you're not gonna stay that shredded year round because you actually deplete the water. Sometimes even, I took a couple of my shows, I took pills to actually reduce water and things like that. You're not inflamed. There's such a science to it. So it's not realistic to look like that all the time, just so you guys know. But because I learned how to cut, I earned a few tricks of the trade along the way. Before I have a vacation, I'll do what I call my mini cut. So I carry myself in pretty good shape year round. I keep my diet pretty in check. I always tell people when they want to know my nutrition and my macros and all these things, I don't share a lot, because honestly, it's a customized approach, and also it depends on what your goals are. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain muscle? Like, where are you at? For me, whenever I'm trying to change my physique, if I'm heavier than I want to be, I always focus on cutting and then I rebuild with lifting. But for right now, I'm kind of just in maintenance mode, and people ask me like, what does maintenance mode look like for you? I eat pretty clean. My husband and I order meal prep, and I always say one of my secrets to success is women are either perpetual snackers or starvers. It's like one or the other way. So one thing that's helped me is I always have prepared protein in my fridge, so that if I'm running on the go, instead of grabbing some crappy bar or some big Starbucks, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna at least like shovel some chicken and rice in and be good. And that also helps my energy levels and helps reduce hunger levels and things like that. So that's one of my tricks of the trade, if you will. So before, like I said, I'm kind of in maintenance mode and I usually eat pretty clean during the week, but because I'm in maintenance mode, I will go out to eat probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I might have a margarita, but even then I try to make smart choices. Every once in a while I might order the pizza or the pasta, but really I love eating clean, so I might just order the grilled salmon or the fish or the tilapia or the chicken and things like that, because my body kind of craves that. So I feel like it's a really good way for me to maintain. Now, when I'm getting ready to go on vacation, I want to look a little snatched, like my daughters tell me, like, Mom, you look snatched. And I want to reduce inflammation and I want to reduce a little bit of that water retention. There's a lot that you can manipulate with water. So what I typically do, about 10 days out, I'm not gonna have those cheat meals as much on the weekend, or if I do, I'm having like tequila and diet soda. I'm skipping on the margarita. I might have, like I said, grilled cheese. Yeah, I'm gonna have a grilled cheese. I might have the grilled chicken. I might skip the French fries and things like that. When I was doing my bikini competitions, what we did the last month out, I never had to do any kind of crazy cut, because we would do a very, very slow cut. And what we would do is we would just slowly start to take away carbs. So you can't function with no carbs at all. Like, you literally, like, carbs are fuel for your brain. So, but you can limit your carbs, and you will, in my experience, that's what I did in my bikini competing, is you can start to eliminate your carbs and you can get protein such as like tilapia or things that's a little bit lower calorie, and you will see a significant difference in your body in that month. So every time I did a show, I never had to do any crazy cutting or anything like that. I just was very disciplined, and about a month out, I would slowly start cutting things. And I would tease my trainer and my nutritionist all the time, because literally like cutting, you're thinking no carbs, right? They're like, for today, I was eating like 4 servings of rice or whatever it is. They're like, you're just gonna take out 1 serving of rice. I'm like, there's no way in hell that taking away 1 serving of rice is gonna make a difference. Like, trust me. So I do that. Then the next week they're like, okay, we're gonna take away 2 servings of rice. So I just learned, like, if you slowly kind of cut your carbs and don't do it all at once, it's a lot easier to do that and maintainable. So 10 days out before a trip, I just go low carb. I make sure that I'm getting in my water. For me, I typically drink at least 3 liters of water a day. When I was competing, it was 4, and that's a lot. It's really hard to consume that much water. I personally don't consume a ton of caffeine. I found that when I started to cut out as much caffeine, I actually had more energy throughout the day. So I haven't had a lot of caffeine in probably the last 5 years. So it's easy for me to get in that water. So again, before my bikini trip, I make sure I'm getting in all of the water that I need. I'm subtly cutting my carbs. If I go to dinner on the weekends, I'm just making smarter choices. And then the week, like literally like 5 days out before my competition, I'm basically just eating meal prep and lowering my carbs, getting in my water. And then the 2 days before the trip, I cut my water in half. Then the day before, it goes down to 1 liter of water. Then I wake up on vacation day and I'm like, woo! Like, there's just so much that you can do by manipulating water. The reason I do this is I want to feel good on my vacation. And it's not that hard. Like I said, it's just like conservative or disciplined choices about 10 days out. And then for me, it's like I can get on vacation and I'm like, I might have the pasta or the pizza or freaking the croissant every morning or the omelets or whatever it is. And for me, that's what makes the vacation fun, is not stressing about it, because I did a little mini cut ahead of time. So if I put on a few pounds of water weight, I'm not really worried about it. The other advice that I can give you guys, I find, like, I love vacations, and I find a lot of times as women, we'll go on vacations and we have fun, and then immediately we get home and we feel so guilty and bloated, and we're like, oh my God. Number one, most of that is water weight from flying, food you're not used to eating, things like that. So don't be too hard on yourself. One of the biggest tips that one of my trainers gave me, she'd be like, Danielle, a lot of people want to do these, all of a sudden they think they need to do these cleanse and this juice cleanse and this, or they just don't eat for 5 days. And they're like, then your body's just constantly doing this. She's like, the biggest advice she gave me when I would have a vacation, she'd be like, hey, tighten up your diet this week and get back on track. So whenever I get home from vacation, I'm like, wow, I had a good time. I got a little extra water weight. I'm not like worried about it. I'm like, hey, I know I'm gonna dial it in this week. I'm gonna get in my water. I know I'm gonna get back to eating my meal prep. And literally, like, by Friday, I feel like I'm back to me. So that is my tip for you guys. I don't share a ton of fitness. I find, like, in the fitness space, women are kind of judgy. Or if you give them advice, they're not gonna do it anyways. So if you're really serious about making change in your body, the biggest thing I can tell you to do is hire a professional. I think a lot of times we think we can do it by ourselves, which you can, but the accountability is where it was such a game changer for me. Because there's been so many times where I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to go to the gym, but I know I have a trainer that's waiting for me, and if I cancel, she's still going to charge me. So little things like that for me have been a game changer. So I look at it as like, how can I not invest in coaching and things like that to hold me accountable? So still to this day, I got into weightlifting 5 years ago after I had my 3rd baby, and I know how to lift weights at this point. I have enough education behind me where I know how to do this, but I still hire coaches. Again, I think it's important to have that accountability factor. So you guys, if you're a mom and you're watching this video and you want to make changes in your shape, my suggestion to you is hire that accountability coach and then be honest with them to get the results that you're looking for. All right, guys, that's it. That's my fitness tip. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, share it with your friends. I also share hair, fashion, all the good things. You can follow my Naturally Rose page. You can follow the Danielle K page, and I'll see you guys on another YouTube video.